are my top 5 tricks that I think you should know about how to choose a PhD topic. I'm going to tell you the secrets today in this episode of Navigating Academia. What's up, Navigating Academia family? This is your buddy and personal academic mentor, Dr. Phoenix Singh, coming at you to be able to tell you about the 5 tricks I think you should know about when it comes to choosing a PhD topic. I'll tell you, choosing a doctoral topic when it comes to the dissertation work that you're going to be doing, your big research question or questions, is something that is so critical to the quality of your life, right? Over the next years, whether that's, as short as 4 years or as long as 7 years. I know people have taken 12 years to be able to complete their doctoral degrees. So it's very important that you take these tricks into consideration when you're choosing a topic, okay? Let's jump right in. Number 1 is to align your interests. Choose a topic that aligns with your personal interests, values, and goals. The last thing you want to do is to say, I won't want to get into any grad school. People tell me this every year. If you want to work with me one-on-one to be able to, pick this kind of stuff, just contact me down here, book a session with me down at the website below, which is gradschoolapplicationcoach.com, and we can talk about this. Why? Because it is so important that you do not just, shotgun apply to loads of doctoral to PhD programs, hoping that you're going to get into one and then just say, you know what, I'm just going to tailor my interests to the interests of the target supervisor, instead of thinking just from the jump, what is it that I'm actually interested in? Who's doing that work and has those research lines? I'm going to align myself with them and I'm going to go in that direction, okay? Because that's what you should be doing, all right? So make sure the work aligns, okay? This is going to make your research journey so much more enjoyable and meaningful, right? That's number 1. Number 2 is consider the feasibility. If you are saying in the next 4 to 7 years, I'm going to develop a new screening tool, I'm going to test it, I'm going to cross-validate it, and I'm going to roll it out and get it implemented into policy, you're probably out of your mind, right? Same thing when it comes to doing something like a randomized control trial with a very small number of individuals and then following them up for a long period of time, 2-3 years. I literally had a colleague of mine, took her 7 years to finish the doctorate. Her name was Amy. Amy was amazing. She was so hardworking. 2 times she had such a high level of attrition in terms of the follow-up for her small sample. And why was it a small sample? Because she was looking at individuals with a very, very rare mental illness. So finding these people was so hard. She was paying them huge amounts of money, kept having to get grants and find funding sources to be able to pay new individuals after attrition occurred, meaning that the individuals who were the participants, they had to get censored. Censored means just drop out, and they had no statistical power, right, to be able to run the analyses that they wanted to run. So because of that, just the feasibility of whatever the research design is that you're choosing is really key here. Just the availability of resources, of funding, the timeline that you've got here, it needs to be realistic. If you do the best work you've ever done in your life, particularly research, during your doctorate, you are doing something wrong, okay? Your best work should be after you get out. Remember what I always say on this channel, which is the goal of grad school is to get the hell out of grad school, guys, okay? It is so important that you take that into consideration and do your very, very best to be able to just get out of there if you can. And choosing the right project is one of the core tenets of that belief, all right? That's number 2. Number 3 is try to explore interdisciplinary fields. If you look for topics, research topics, that integrate different disciplines, this can lead to some really innovative and impactful research. In my field in forensic psychology is violence risk assessment. We try to predict the likelihood of future violence. Most of the methods that we end up using are not from something like, like a computer science background, but now there's a huge subliterature, which is very hot, getting cited loads. And finally, we have individuals collaborating in between computer science as well as forensic psychology using machine learning algorithms and AI-based algorithms to be able to predict the likelihood of violence using very large, so big data sets. This is really, really exciting. And the work that you're doing is very likely to be highly cited. And your H-index, if you don't know what that is, please watch other videos on the channel. Your H-index can really be positively impacted by this. And your H-index is the number 1 predictor of whether or not you're going to get an R1 faculty position. And it depends on what field you're in, what that average H-index is. So be sure to be able to look that up, okay? So doing that kind of work, meta-analyses, large-scale epidemiological studies, systematic reviews. These are all amazing digital surveys that are international or national in nature. These are all fantastic methodologies because the manuscripts are going to produce publications that are much more likely to be widely cited, even in the short term, which is pretty cool, all right? So the fourth thing here is to be able to seek advice from experts on what you should really tackle. Obviously, your supervisor, right? It's not even a question. Your target supervisor is what I mean. And one thing that you should do is to be able to take a look at the grants that your supervisor is currently funded for, because that's the nature of a lot of the data sets that are going to be available to you if you decide to do something like a retrospective analysis or be part of the data collection process and hence the data analysis process for those different grants and those projects underneath the grant that are getting funded, right? All you have to do is go to their CV, go to a section that'll be grants or funding, something of the sort. Take a look at the grants that they've currently got. If the grant is ending like this year or next year and it's a multi-year grant, the likelihood is very low you're gonna be working on that. But if that's the case and you are really fostering a relationship with the target supervisor, I recommend that you start fostering that relationship at least 18 months before you apply. Seems like a long time, but you really need to invest in that relationship, that personal relationship. Visit them in person, go to conferences they go to, so on and so forth, all right? And again, if you go to Publication Academy and you just do a free trial, become a monthly subscriber after that, I am telling you right now, you're gonna learn all about how to be able to do these things, the tips and tricks of the trade here to be able to contact your target supervisor and foster that relationship. I'm telling you right now, you can ask them, what grants are you applying for right now? What's coming up? So you can align your statement of purpose and so forth if you're applying right now to that. And even if not, talking with your supervisor about other external grant funding opportunities that they're looking to apply for so you can help them apply for it to get the funding for the nature of the work that you want to do. Amazing, great strategy moving forward, okay? Last but not least, number 5, consider the impact that your work is going to have. And we've already talked about impact on academia, right? But what is the impact that your work is going to have on policy, on practitioners? Maybe you're getting your EDD, your doctorate in education, on educators in that case, or a clinical psychology PhD on clinicians, right? Clinical psychologists. But also to individuals in private industry, to policymakers, to society in general, right? Choose a topic that has the potential to make a meaningful contribution to at least one of those different stakeholder groups, right? Choosing something that's going to produce really a meaningful impact is also something that's going to really be good for your heart at the end of the day as you go through this relatively stressful process. So that's what I've got for you guys today. God bless you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share a link to this video on your favorite social media platforms. And I really hope that you guys consider checking out Publication Academy. Like I mentioned, it is the work of my life. It is my heart. And I hope you can support me by at least doing a free trial of it, checking it out. So God bless y'all. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace. Thank you so much for stopping by, everyone. It's a pleasure to have you here as always. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more in this series on navigating academia, please click on one of these links over here to be able to view more original content. I hope to see you there.